2-0. Broncos country has seen the type of football that we played over the last 2 weeks. And now we're coming home. I expect it to be rowdy. I expect it to be crazy. I expect it to be, a great atmosphere to go play football.
Also Thursday, the Broncos signed outside linebacker Aaron Patrick off the Jags practice squad.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken lips. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
We're gonna eat pizza from Casey's and watch the football games. Yeah, enjoy the season with delicious Casey's Pizza. 2 tasty pizzas for big game days.
Now at Casey's, you can get 2 large single-topping pizzas with delicious made-from-scratch dough for $9.99 each with promo code DOUBLE.
Casey's here for good. Yeah!
Uncle Tim, some friends and I are getting together this weekend. Can you buy us some alcohol?
I don't think that's a good idea.
Come on, it'll be low-key. My friends always say you're cooler than other adults.
Oh, well, all right. But don't let your mother find out and don't get caught. Hello, officer. What can I help you with?
Are you the uncle of Samantha?
Yes. Is she okay?
You're under arrest for procuring alcohol from minors. One of the minors drove drunk and killed the mother of 2 last night in a crash. You're looking at up to 3 years in jail and a $10,000 fine.
Don't make the same mistake he did. We need you to be the responsible adult. Underage drinking, adult consequences. There's no free ride if you provide. Learn more at projectextramile.org.
Sponsored by Region 6, Nebraska DHHS, and SAMHSA. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
One host has a red beard and thinning hair. The other also has a red beard and thinning hair. One host got married over the summer. So did the other one. One is a diehard fan of a sub-500 AL Central baseball team. So is the other. Can these 2 radio hosts do a show together without getting confused as to their own identity? The same couple, Happer and Shaper. Weekday mornings from 8 to 11 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Friday. This is the Happy Hour. 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Nick Stainer, Enrique Alvarez Clary with you. Hello, Rico.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I am well. I am very well. I am ecstatic. I am fantastic. I am amazing. Good sir.
Do you want to explain why?
I don't have a reason why.
That's awesome.
I really don't. I got a haircut and I feel good. I'm feeling so good about Nebraska, Michigan State for tomorrow.
Interesting.
Don't ask me why. The last time I felt really good about something, it turned out to be terrible.
We will ask you why here in a little bit.
And I don't know. It just seems like a really good day today.
Interesting.
At least for me. I don't know about everybody else.
Are you a little chilly?
No.
Okay. Because I'm cold.
Like my fingers are, but the rest of my body is fine.
On.
Don't worry. I just wait till 2:50 and I'll be good to go.
Oh, true. With the daily bounce. As always, 402-464-5685. You can feel free to chime in all hour long on the Honda of Lincoln hotline, Starter Heyman text line, as well as on the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. It's going to be a busy day. And unfortunately, I want to apologize because you're probably going to hear a lot of me, a lot of my voice today. If you've been listening since 11 a.m., you've heard it. If you're listening right now, you're hearing it. You'll hear a little bit from 3 to 6, depending on how much I chime in on DP's show. And then after that, at 7 p.m., I will be calling the Lincoln North Star and Pius football game here on the ticket.
Look at you.
And so super excited for that one.
Big dog.
No.
Big dog.
No.
Nick's out here.
I'm super excited for that one. So it's been about a year and a half. Oh, no, not a year and a half. Year since I have broadcasted a game. So I'm excited to get rolling.
I could have swore you did one. Well, yeah,
I suppose
did you do basketball?
I did do basketball. You're right. So I went all the way.
Not exactly a year. It's been a little bit of time, but
yeah, a little bit of time.
You're good.
It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Two teams that are very equally matched, not necessarily finding a ton of success, but are equally matched. So, and also for today's show, I kind of want to leave a little bit of it open. I want to know what you guys are thinking heading into tomorrow's game. You can call in, you can text. We've mentioned it before. We don't get a lot of calls on this show.
People don't call the happy hour.
Like, I want to know how happy you guys are. But no, really. If you have any concerns, any thoughts about Michigan State, how you guys are feeling coming off of Oklahoma, if you're disagreeing with something I'm saying, call us, text us, tell us, all right? Because
what do you think the keys to Nebraska winning against Michigan State are? And you know what?
Yeah.
You can even give us your score predictions and your Husker MVP.
Oh, that's a good little twist to it. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Because I think I know who mine's going to be.
All right, we'll get to that here shortly. But no, seriously, I want to leave it open for you guys a little bit because I want to hear what you guys are thinking and feeling going into Michigan State after a very interesting game against Oklahoma last Saturday. And then I don't know. I've heard that this is like the biggest game of Scott Frost's career at Nebraska.
He's had a lot of those.
I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I don't know if I feel like this is a must. I hate must win.
You hate must win games?
I hate that term solely because you have to go week to week. Like you just have to. But
every game is a must win game.
Part of Nebraska's roller coaster of being a fan is you never know how they're going to come out each week.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so frustrating.
And I'm not. Yeah, I don't think I like that as a fan. Is the roller coaster of emotions? Like, are they going to be good? Are they going to be bad? Which Husker team are we going to get?
Yeah.
But the biggest game of Scott Frost's career, he's had a couple of those: the Illinois game, the Oklahoma game, and now this game, and probably a couple last year and the year before. You know, he's always had. There's always a couple games each year where, well, if he doesn't win this one, this could spell disaster for the program. Well, if they win this one, this could turn around the program and et cetera, all kinds of stories like that. But I do kind of agree that this is a massive game.
It's huge
in the career of him being the Husker coach. Whether that lasts, multiple seasons, whether that lasts a couple more seasons, I don't know. Who's to know? But this game right now, going into Big Ten play, especially after the amazing performance, albeit in a loss, that your team put up against a top 5 ranked team in Oklahoma, following a loss to Illinois and two big wins against subpar competition. Although Buffalo did only lose by like 3 points to Coastal Carolina, and that's another top 25 team, a really good group of 5 team. But this game tomorrow is going to be a massive stepping stone for this Husker program if they can find a way to win this game, because again, you're going against another top 25 opponent. You haven't beaten a top 25 opponent on the road. You've struggled in road games just in general in the Big Ten. You've struggled against Big Ten opponents that look and play like this Michigan State team want to play like. And you're coming off of a pretty impressive performance showing that you're moving in the right direction and following games where this Nebraska team has shown that they are improving in the slightest, they have fallen flat on their face. So in order for this program to move forward as a program, as a football team, to improve their stock and to get the fans reinvested in this program and to feel better about it going forward, they need to come out and not just perform well in this game.
Yeah.
I think they need to win this game, because they could do everything perfect and they could lose by a last-second field goal, and I don't want to say it negates everything, but it makes it as if all of the perfect things they did leading up to then didn't even matter, because you still lost the game. Because if you do everything perfect and you still lose the game, what are you missing? What's going on?
Exactly.
Was there a wrong play call in there that even though, things went right, maybe if you would have done this differently, this could have happened. So it doesn't matter if you win by 3, if you win by 6, if you win by 21, which would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Win the game and look good doing it. Because if again, another thing is if you win the game but you look like trash,
it's going to be Michigan State.
It's going to be, well, first off, Michigan State's bad. And secondly, you won the game, but is there really improvement? You didn't look good doing it.
I think that's actually a very good point, because last week, I think everybody can kind of agree, even if you're not a moral victory kind of person, there was a little bit of a moral victory or a confidence boost. And I said it on Tom and Bach. I said that last week was kind of a must compete kind of game where you needed to just stay competitive, which they did. They had an opportunity to win it if the minute drive went way different, but they still had an opportunity, right? We've talked about that all week, and it kind of gets exhausting after a while, but I don't think there's any way you can take a moral victory out of losing against Michigan State.
No,
there is completely, you're looking at two different tiers of programs where it's Oklahoma and then Michigan State.
Michigan State is a solid team. They look solid right now. They look good. They're in the top 20 because they beat Miami, although who knows what Miami is. I don't know if Miami's actually that good, but that's the reason Michigan State is in the top 20 right now, is because, they beat Northwestern 38-21, Youngstown State 42-14, and the only reason they're in the top 25 is because they beat a number 24 ranked Miami.
Yeah.
If they lose that game, obviously they're not in the top 25, but who knows what Miami is. They're 24, but they're not a good 24. They don't look good. This Miami team is not struggling.
Yeah, and I think that was a very important thing to bring up, is that there's no way you can get a moral victory out of a loss at Michigan State. It just doesn't look as good on paper, number one. It doesn't sound as good coming out of your mouth saying that, oh yeah, we lost against Michigan State, but we looked good. Nebraska looked good. It doesn't carry the same week or carry the same weight. Also, you can't say that back-to-back weeks, because then where do you draw the line on losing? Like Rico said, is you have to go out and do it.
We looked good, but we lost again.
Yeah. And that gets exhausting. And that's what the guys have said. The athletes have said this week is, we're tired of being this close. We're tired of being close. We need to get over the hump. And they understand that. It's just now they have to go out and do it. Same thing we've been saying all year. Go out and do it. And I saw this on the text line a couple hours ago. I mentioned about, and I told you, Rico, during a commercial break, is I said something about the next 4 games.
It's a crucial stretch.
It's very important, and it's very winnable, in my opinion, because you have Michigan State, winnable game if Nebraska goes out and builds off of Oklahoma. Go past that weekend, next weekend, it's homecoming weekend here at home. They have Northwestern. Northwestern is maybe in the bottom 4 teams of the Big Ten Conference.
Northwestern is struggling. Nebraska always plays Northwestern close for some odd reason, for some godforsaken reason. Nebraska Northwestern is always a close game, but this Northwestern team is not like the Northwestern teams of old. They have a good defense, not a great defense, and their offense is bad. That is like Northwestern teams. Well, this is just a bad offense.
Well, they were already returning in the offseason. They were returning less than 30% of their production on both sides of the ball. Then before the season even got rolling, they lost their their linebacker on the defensive side of the ball, and they lost their starting running back. And so they were just struggling big time. And
Pat Fitzgerald is a good coach, and he'll find a way to get this team to compete. But right now,
and we always know Nebraska Northwestern games are close.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of this one.
Yeah. And then you go past that, you have Michigan at home. If it was Michigan on the road, it'd be a little less, there'd be a little less amount of confidence in Nebraska being able to get it done. This is a stretch that you can win, you can go and get
and you
to
got
that.
Purdue after that.
Yeah. And then, then you have Minnesota,
my bad.
And then a bye week and then Purdue. So there's 5 winnable games. However, right there, there's 5 winnable games. It's just something that, once again, Nebraska just needs to go out and do something that they haven't done under Scott Frost. But I mentioned it earlier, it seems like Scott has kind of grown as a coach and grown as a leader in the last couple weeks. And that, I would not say that lightly. I would not come out and say that if I just, barely thought about it or barely thought that was the case. But something about Oklahoma, it kind of changed my opinion on him being able to lead this team. Just the play calling, the way he managed the game, the way he reacted to the loss, it just kind of felt there was just a different feel around the program in Norman, I should say, after a very hard fought loss.
Despite the loss, just the way he was carrying himself made you feel a little bit better.
Yeah, and just what they did in the middle of the game,
as opposed to some of the losses where it seemed like he was a little, I don't know, like slunking.
Yeah, and maybe it's the way that they came out of halftime. I mean, and the way that they fought through adversity, which is something that with Nebraska.
I mean, you started the game with like 3 false starts penalties, and you went down and you kicked a field. You scored on that drive. It was a field goal, but you scored on that drive. Which in games of old, you start a drive with a false start, you're not scoring. You're punching.
Shut down.
That's
shut down. You're 3-0. And that's what I was saying. As I said it earlier this week, is when I was there and got the first couple false start penalties, I thought to myself, oh no, here we go again. And that's something that Husker fans are way too familiar with saying is, oh no, here we go again. And is that what the reaction's going to be if Nebraska loses tomorrow? Like, serious question there. Because this is kind of the week that,
I mean, it kind of will, because you're coming off a good performance and then you're dropping a game, which is kind of par for the course with this Husker team, where you come out, you do something good, whether you win or whether you put up a good performance, and then you lose. You lose. You get blown out. Yes. You just don't look good in the next game. So if they can come out and win this game, it'll be okay. Maybe something is shifting with this team, not just, a good performance against Oklahoma, but now you're coming back and you're stacking days, as Scott Frost likes to say. You're stacking days, you're stacking games, and you win this game against a solid Michigan State team. And we have somebody on the YouTube, Lavender Chance, says, I don't think it's the most important, but it's coming around the corner, which started with Buffalo, and it's a chance of entering the straightaway of the season stretch with speed and confidence. Lavender Chance also says 35-10 Huskers, with the MVP being the black shirts, who will win the turnover battle and actually score on defense.
Wow.
That is a lot.
That's a lot there.
A defensive touchdown would go a long way for this team, and that might push them over, because I think
30 points is a lot.
Michigan's got a solid defense. And you saw that against a Miami offense that is supposed to be pretty explosive. They have a really good quarterback.
Well, their quarterback is similar to Adrian Martinez.
Except he's shorter.
Derek King is similar to Adrian Martinez. I would rather have Adrian Martinez.
Yeah. I think Derek King has a stronger arm, but I think Adrian is more accurate. I think Derek King is faster, but Adrian is more of a physical runner. But a defensive touchdown would go a long way for this team to getting the win, and I think the offense should be able to pick apart the secondary at least. But Lavender Chance, 35-10 Huskers, that'd be fantastic.
I think 30 points a lot. I feel really comfortable.
That's what I'm saying. If they score a defensive touchdown, I think that pushes them over 30.
Yeah, I think if Nebraska scores over 30 in this game, they should be okay. I don't know if I see Michigan State scoring over 30 against Nebraska's defense. Also, it's going to be a little crappy weather, 60s. There's a small chance of rain I saw and stuff.
We've got Husker fan in Manhattan on the text line. You're looking at the wrong side of this game. What does an MSU moral victory look like? 450 total yards, 50 completions. No, we were saying that you can't take a moral victory out of this game. Like if you lose this game, it doesn't matter how you look. You would look Adrian Martinez could toss 3 touchdowns with no interceptions and run for 100 yards. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, the offense still didn't get the job done. The defense gave up too many points. They lost the game. You need to win. It doesn't matter.
And to be fair, the Oklahoma moral victory kind of is gone now. Like, it doesn't matter. It's more of just you need to build off of the performance at Oklahoma.
It was a weak thing. So
yeah.
After today, not like a full week, but after today, once you get into the next game, it's over. There's no more moral victory. You go into this game in East Lansing and you win this game. You go to the woodshed and you win this game.
Okay, so Husker fan in Manhattan corrected us. What does a moral victory for Michigan State look like if they lose to Nebraska? Basically, they lose to Nebraska basically, and then but they still play well. Well, I don't think
there is a moral victory for Michigan State. If you lose to Nebraska, you just lost to Nebraska. And currently, with the way that the Nebraska program has been performing in recent years, there's no moral victory.
I don't think there is. Also, it would be Scott Frost's first win.
I mean, Oklahoma beat Nebraska, and it seemed like to their fans and their fan base that the wheels were falling off.
Yeah.
Because they barely beat Nebraska. So if you lose to this Husker team as a ranked Michigan State team 3-0, there's no moral victory here.
And I think it would be Scott Frost's first win over a ranked opponent in his time here. And do you really want that mark on your record? if you're Michigan State, you want that mark. You want that mark on your record if you're Nebraska.
Look, man, somebody's got to be first.
I just think there's a big opportunity. We say it each week. Somebody at 2:15 asks, "Am I the first text of the happy hour today?" No, you are about 30 texts late.
I actually don't know who the first one was. I
think it was Don, because Don's trying to tell me about McChickens.
Okay. Well, shout out Don for being the winner of nothing today. Sorry we didn't do that. We got straight into
it's
Husker
Friday.
talk.
It's Friday. It's going to be a busy weekend also. I guess this is a good time to mention this. I'll say it again. High school Saturday show will be tomorrow at 9 a.m. Or I guess Husker Online show will be from 8 to 9. High school at 9. And then we take a little bit of a break. At 3:30 is when the Ticket Tailgate pregame show begins.
Yes.
Following the game, it'll be me, Happer, Rico for the Husker after party. And then following us, DP from Tanner's. I believe.
Yes. It's going to be a late. It's going to be a late night for both post games.
Yeah, it's going to be good though. Hopefully Nebraska.
It'll be a late night coming off a dub.
Yeah. If not, the post game,
I'm not showing up.
It could be interesting. Oak Valley Husker says my first text was I was definitely the first text. I missed it. Oak Valley Husker. We were wrong about Don.
Sorry, Don.
Don, you're not the winner of nothing. You're the winner of something. Oak Valley Husker.
Is today's winner of nothing. I'm not reading the text.
It is a good text.
I'm not reading the text. Yes, it is about a commercial that we have on the airwaves.
Yes.
It is a weird commercial.
Congrats, Oak Valley. See, it's pretty competitive here, folks. Okay, keep sending your text. There's a lot I want to get to here. A couple about some people to watch on Michigan State. Do we think the frost is melting? More stuff from Husker and fan in Manhattan. And then talking about moral victories as well. So keep sending those in. We're going to do that the whole next segment. As long as you guys keep giving, I have stuff to talk about, but I want to know what you guys want to hear. So let's go ahead and take a little bit of an early break. When we come back,
a little sip and Jake. That's what you call it. When you take an early break, you take sip and Jake.
All right, let's take a little bit of an early break.
Oh my goodness. He doesn't get it, guys.
I do understand it. When we come back, we'll get to some of these texts and keep breaking down Nebraska, Michigan State. Next on the Happy Hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Take a look at your backyard. Does it feel like something is missing? You're right. Now is the perfect time to get an above-ground swimming pool from Bonsall Pool and Spa. Above-ground pools require less space than in-ground pools, are temporary structures if you ever choose to move, and are low maintenance. Plus, you'll never have to worry about the kids getting bored in the summertime anymore. Visit bonsallpool.com to schedule a pool service or visit them at 33rd and Highway 2. Bonsall Pool and Spa.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Mostly cloudy skies expected for our Friday as a strong cold front moves its way through the region. We will see highs around 76, but those temperatures leveling off a bit this afternoon. North winds eventually gusting well over 30 and a chance of some scattered showers. Clearing tonight with a low of 43, sunny with a high of 78 tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batstoRats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Venue at Home is your answer for locally made, freshly prepared meals delivered to your door every week. Our meals come ready to heat and eat. With sizes for 2 people or 4, Venue at Home is perfect for busy people who want a quick, easy, and delicious meal option to share with your roommates or feed the whole family. Add on from our wide selection of appetizers, sides, desserts, alcohol, and more. Receive a discount on your meals by subscribing to get Venue at Home delivered every week. Visit venueathome.net to order today. That's venueathome.net.
The weather has changed, and now it's time to adjust your footwear to change along with it. Stop into Brown's Shoe Fit at 66th and Q to get ready for cooler temperatures and fashion trends. They're stocked with Hey Dudes, Brooks, New Balance, Danner boots, Keen or Merrill hiking boots, and plenty of other options. Plus, they have Nordic beach jackets and Bindle tumblers to take to the gym with your new athletic shoes. So get to Brown's Shoe Fit today at 66th and Q.
The decision to replace your air conditioner will save or waste money for 15 to 20 years. Bryant offers some of the most efficient ACs available, up to 26 a year. Schedule your free estimate at BryantLincoln.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here. In 2013, I first came across Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville, and I've been a customer ever since. What's kept me coming back to Koppel is the people. Oftentimes, owner Bob Koppel and his son Brandon are right there with you in the showroom, walking you through the process. There's no runaround at Koppel. It's a hardworking Nebraska company built on honest, small-town values. So make that short drive to Louisville or visit them online at koppelcars.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill has been your go-to in South Lincoln for years, and their second location in downtown Lincoln is now open. Rosie's downtown spot is Lincoln's premier Nebraska party bar with the Sidetrack Band every Friday night of home games and all day for Nebraska home football games. With 34 TVs that are 65 inches or bigger, you'll always have a great view for all the games. Make sure to check out the new Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, now open in downtown Lincoln at 10th and P.
We're gonna eat pizza from Casey's and watch the football games. Yeah, enjoy the season with delicious Casey's pizza. 2 tasty pizzas for big game days.
Now at Casey's, you can get 2 large single-topping pizzas with delicious made-from-scratch dough for $9.99 each with promo code DOUBLE.
Casey's here for good. Yeah.
Nguyen Vape is celebrating their grand opening with 20% off products all month long. They have the largest disposable vape selection in town and also carry Delta 8 and Delta 10 and various other moon rocks. If you're looking for help to relax, sleep, or ease pain, they have a variety of gummies you can choose from and Kratom that could help with pain relief, anxiety, and stress. You can't miss them right on the southwest corner of 27th and O Street. Nguyen Vape, your headquarters in Lincoln for vapes and Delta 8 or 10.
Now back to the happy hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to the happy hour, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Nick Sainert, Enrique Alvarez Clary with you. As always, 402-464-5685, Honda of Lincoln Hotline, Sutter Heyman text line. Give us your thoughts on Nebraska, Michigan State. We have a couple, actually quite a few to get to here. I want to start with.
Got a decent amount. I like this. I'm proud of all of you.
Yeah. Pete Drumstick is saying he likes that let's take a little sip and Jake.
Let's take a little sip and Jake. That's what you're supposed to say.
That needs to be terminated.
That's what you're supposed to say. You take an early break. We're going to take a sip and Jake real quick. Take a little sip and Jake.
All right. Also, I want to send my condolences to Red Lobster lovers.
Rip.
I'm not one of them.
Rip to my mans that I didn't
realize that it was such a hot commodity.
Apparently the cheddar biscuits are delicious. I've never been to a Red Lobster.
I've heard that the cheddar biscuits are good, but I also know you can buy them in the store, I think.
Yeah, but it's not the same. You don't get the atmosphere. Did Red Lobster still have the live lobster tank there?
I was always interested when I was younger about the live lobsters like in Hy-Vee.
Mm-hmm. I always wanted one.
Really?
I wasn't gonna eat it. I just wanted one. I just wanted to put it on the ground and watch it
just run off.
I don't know.
Yeah. So
weird kid.
I will say really, Rico was a weird kid. You heard it here first.
Surprise, surprise. I know.
Yeah, no, you can buy the cheddar biscuit stuff in the the mix in the store. I do it with the Famous Dave's cornbread, and it works just fine.
It's not the same. It's not made with love.
No, it is. I put a lot of love into it.
You don't.
All right, let's get this off the text line. Seth, Nebraska has won 2 conference games in a row, one time since Frost has been here. We need to win and win in a row. Need momentum if we want to make a bowl game. Not to mention it's now or never. The games only get harder at the end of this year. That's exactly what I was trying to get at earlier. Is after Purdue, it's Ohio State, Wisconsin, Iowa. Name a comfortable win in there. There's none.
Look, before this season not before this. Well, yeah, before the season started, it looked like a very daunting task, this entire schedule.
Yeah.
After Illinois, it looked like you would only win 2 games on the season.
And it was going to be Fordham
and Buffalo.
Yeah.
But after Oklahoma, after the performance they put on, I'm not scared for this team to go up against anybody, especially with how not unbeatable Ohio State looks. Like it's still a daunting task.
Yes.
Yeah, how beatable they look. It's still a daunting task because it's Ohio State and they're amazing, but their defense looks beatable. Oregon showed you that. And their offense is struggling despite all of the weapons they have.
I want to know what.
And then Iowa's offense doesn't scare me. Their defense is good, but I don't know how good because they faced a bunch of iffy offenses. And then Wisconsin, great defense, not scared of their offense.
I want to know how people will feel if Nebraska beats Michigan State going into next weekend's game.
Northwestern?
Yeah.
I don't know what the line will be.
Because, like, again, after Oklahoma, people were saying that if Nebraska would have beaten Oklahoma, it would feel like this was a easy win for them, for Nebraska. That Michigan State would be an easy win for them, basically. I don't know if that's the case. I think people would I don't know if people would be on their high horse about Nebraska still.
Do you think? Okay, let's put it this way. Do you think Michigan State would still be favored if Nebraska had beaten Oklahoma, let's say by 3?
Yes.
You think Michigan State's still favored?
I do. Because it's a Nebraska team that hasn't been able to put up consistent weeks after consistent weeks of football.
It's true, but it's a what have you done for me now type of thing. Or what have you done for me lately type of thing. If they go out and they beat Oklahoma by 3 points and they look the exact same, and let's say they won by 3, I don't know how, but everything happens the exact same, but they win by 3 points. I think they go into this game probably favored by 3.
So at that point, you're kind of just a toss up.
Yeah. Well, not really a toss up. You're still favored. I mean, Michigan State's favored by 5. What is that?
Exactly. So I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm trying to get at is I don't know if people would be confident in Nebraska going to Michigan State and winning.
I would. I mean, I am right now, and they lost to Oklahoma. If they would have beat Oklahoma, I'd be calling for a blowout.
Really?
Yes.
I just don't.
I don't trust this Michigan State team at all.
And how much do you trust Nebraska?
They have
Rico?
a fantastic running back in Kenneth Walker III, but he couldn't even crack. He couldn't even get the starting role at Wake Forest. I don't know what they're doing different at Michigan State, or maybe Wake Forest was just mismanaging him. But
we've been part of that.
He looks great now. He looks great now, and that is contributing to their quarterback's success. He has 9 touchdowns and no interceptions. Yeah. But if you can slow down the running game and you can get to the quarterback, I'm not like Peyton Thorne doesn't scare me. He seems like a typical Big Ten West quarterback. And I know typical Big Ten West quarterbacks have beaten Nebraska in the past, but they're nothing to write home about. Like they're good. They're really good quarterbacks. They're really good players. But if you can get the running game to not be as dangerous as it seems like he is, I mean, he's averaging 8 yards a carry. Yeah. If you can bump that down to, 4, and then you don't have to, stack the box with people, and you can keep people back in the defensive backfield to stop this guy from throwing the ball. I mean, I think that's what you want, is to have him beat you with his throwing, with his arm. If you can force Michigan State into throwing the ball, I have even more confidence in this Nebraska team, because this defense is legit. I love this defense. It is fantastic. Like they were giving up a couple big runs to Oklahoma, but nothing killer. Nothing gashed them for a bunch of yards. They were giving up a couple yards here and there, getting the first downs and everything, and then just playing back in the zone because they were scared of the speed of Oklahoma's wide receivers. They're giving up little holes early in the closer to the line of scrimmage, closer to the first down. Michigan State has good athletes. I'm not taking anything away from them. They have good athletes. They do not have the level of athletes as Oklahoma. So I think that this defensive backfield and this defense is going to be more physical with them, and they're not going to be scared of getting beat deep. So they'll be able to play up tighter and take away some of those shorter routes.
I think I agree with you. I know I agree with you with they don't scare me. Nebraska or Michigan State doesn't scare me in case of Nebraska. I'm not trying to say that they do. What I'm saying is, and this has been a common thought, it's Nebraska beats itself. Nebraska beats itself. And maybe that's what I needed to say differently is how much confidence do Husker fans have in Nebraska going out, not only this week, but even if they win tomorrow, how much confidence do they have going out next week against Northwestern, saying with certainty that Nebraska won't beat themselves?
Another solid team that will take advantage of your mistakes if you make
Bingo. Yeah, bingo. A disciplined team that takes advantage of mistakes. Nebraska took advantage of some of Oklahoma's mistakes last week, and that's what kept them into the game. That's what kept them in games.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to need to take advantage of most of Michigan State's mistakes tomorrow, whether that's 3 and outs, whether that's fumbles, whether that's forcing Peyton Thorne to rush his time or his passing and make a pick. They're going to need to score off of those because that's what a disciplined and winning football team does.
Mm-hmm.
And frankly, they haven't done that yet. If Jason on
the text line says Nebraska scares me more than MSU does. Yeah, that's
bingo. That's exactly what I'm getting at.
And then we have an unnamed texter right after that. If you're a Michigan State fan, what scares you about Nebraska? Well, I could tell you, Michigan State fans, along with every other team that plays Nebraska, it's Adrian Martinez. Yes. It's not just his ability to beat you with his legs, but his ability to keep the play alive in the backfield. And this year, more than any other years, he's not looking to run first. When he breaks the pocket, he keeps his eyes downfield. And now he has the amount of weapons needed for him to break contain. And if you look, you can't cover for that long as a defensive backfield. If the quarterback breaks contain and is creating time in the backfield, the wide receivers, somebody is going to find an open lane. And if Adrian can spot that person, then, it's an easy pitch and catch. But the thing that would scare you as a Michigan State fan is just Adrian's legs.
I think it's Adrian's legs, and then I don't want to say solely the secondary because they aren't really scared by the secondary necessarily. It's more of it's maybe a what if Nebraska is able to shut down Michigan State's ground game. Then it's a what are we going to do because we cannot throw on that secondary. Justin Thind of 24/7 said that to me yesterday. It was, Nebraska's secondary is good, and Michigan State's pass offense is not the best. Great. They do a lot of play action. They like to get Peyton Thorne running on the play action there.
If the running game is going, the play action will kill you.
Yes. And it will in any offense, not just Michigan State.
And that's, back-to-back test. Drumstick says, in my opinion, stop Kenneth Walker, win the game. And then the person who texted in what would Michigan State be scared of in Nebraska says exactly. So if you contain Adrian, then what? What's the same thing with Michigan State? If you contain Kenneth Walker, what do they have? Peyton Thorne is only good because Kenneth Walker is good. He has 9 touchdowns and no interceptions, but that's off a lot of play action. If you're not scared of the play action, their wide receivers aren't going to get that open. And this defensive backfield is experienced and good. They've been jumping a lot of routes, unfortunately. They've missed a lot of the routes, but they've been playing aggressive. And if you play aggressive against a team like this, who doesn't have the exact, world beaters at wide receiver or at quarterback, if you stop that running back, this defensive backfield is going to take advantage of those throws.
All right, so you guys are texting in. Let's get into the Adrian discussion a little bit. I didn't know we needed to have this.
We still need to have this, apparently.
Somebody says, okay, so if you contain Adrian, then what? Well, then you hope that he is able to make the throw, and you hope that the offensive line is able to hold up long enough. Now, on the flip side of that, I understand the offensive line has been abysmal. I think it's not been good.
Less than ideal.
Yes, that's a nicer way to put it. And so then you just hope that Adrian is able to make a throw, which I haven't updated my spreadsheet. I knew it. I thought about it last night. I thought about it last night.
Well, okay, you don't even have to think you saw him staying in the pocket, and when he broke the pocket against Oklahoma, he was making throws. And I believe somebody texted in or somebody tweeted, Adrian Martinez was somewhere in the neighborhood of 13 of 13 on throws under 10 yard or under 20 yards or something like that. That's accurate, and that's what you want. And because you're not going to you're not going to have a perfect passing percentage over 20 yards. Those are some taking chance throws. Those are the big play throws that you're trying to make. But under 20 yards, those are just, hey, I'm going to, pitch and catch, you're wide open or you're getting open and I need you to catch this, probably go down for a first down.
And then we had this text that followed, and Adrian still doesn't put up points against Big 5 schools. I want you to expand on that a little bit. What do you mean by that?
It's not just Adrian. There are so many other pieces to that puzzle. He has to throw the ball to people. The running game has to be working. The offensive line has to give him time. A quarterback isn't the only person on the offense. He's one of the most important people on the offense, but he's not the only one. It's not just him putting up points on Power 5 schools. It's everybody combined. If you give him no weapons, who's he going to throw to put up points? If you don't give him a running game, who's he going to hand it off to open up some lanes for him to run or open up some lanes for him to pass? It's a whole offense that needs to put up points. You can't just put this on the quarterback.
And it's also not just the offense, I think. I think part of that relies on the defense. There were opportunities for the defense to make tackles, the initial tackle, I should say, on Saturday that they didn't. There were opportunities that they could have picked a ball off, and they just missed it. It was good defense. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining about a deflected pass or a PBU. I'm not complaining about that.
Mm-hmm.
But also part of that, it works in intertwined of if the defense does their job, which they did to a pretty good extent on Saturday. Adrian looked pretty darn good on Saturday. It all works together. If they come up with a turnover or a takeaway, and Nebraska's offense with Adrian Martinez at the helm gets the ball at the 40-yard line of the opponent or in plus territory, I have a lot of confidence in Adrian being able to run a 35-yard drive and finding points, whether that's a field goal or whether that's a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Finding points. You can't complain about points.
Now, on the field goal discussion, that's a totally different.
Yes,
discussion.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Putting up points also, includes your field goal kicker hitting kicks. And Lucas on the text line, all the if they do this, they will win talk is like saying she would look really cute if she looked totally different. Nebraska gives no one any reason to believe they are done with mistakes and will actually make the big play. Okay, the mistakes, I can agree with you.
Yeah.
They still make mistakes. Against Buffalo, Samori Toure's only 2 catches of that game went for touchdowns, very big plays. You had the deep pass to Xavier Betts and the deep pass for a touchdown to Omar Manning. Like they are hitting big plays. Adrian and this offense are hitting on big plays. They just need to finish the drives. I have confidence that they're going to hit on some big plays against Michigan State and that they're going to score a decent amount of points. I think they're going to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
But the mistakes, I can't agree with you. But the if they do this, they will win. What do you want us to say? That's what they're supposed to do. They need to do this to win. They need to protect Adrian better.
Yeah.
If they protect Adrian better, they will put up more points because he will have more time in the pocket. If they block the run better, they will be able to run the ball better, obviously.
Yeah.
And that will open up more passing lanes, and maybe you break a big run. Like that's with every team. If you do this, this will happen. If you do this, this will happen. That's the only thing we can say about this team.
Yeah.
Because they have so much more room to improve, but they have been doing things well on very short-term basis and in little spurts throughout games and throughout years.
Yeah, I agree there. And even if Nebraska was still playing well, let's say Nebraska's undefeated, we'd still be talking about what they need to do better. That's always a conversation, is what you need to do differently to keep improving. And if you're not talking about that, then your level of competition needs to look itself in the mirror, number one. Number two, you just need a reality check and realizing that you need to keep going always up. And so let's see,
we just got a 3-part text.
Yeah, I'm gonna,
you have to find it. The middle one is the first one, then the first one is the second one, and then the bottom one is the last one.
Adrian is Jekyll and Hyde. The Adrian defenders are quick to sweep that. The Adrian defenders are quick to sweep that under the rug. While I think it's cool to acknowledge the good, it's not cool to not acknowledge the bad. The team goes as Adrian goes. Okay, hold on one second. Let me reread that. While I think it's cool to acknowledge the good, it's not cool to not acknowledge the bad. I understand that.
Yeah.
But that's what we've been getting at, is there's guys around him that need to do their job so that Adrian is better.
I mean, has he missed some throws? Yeah. The swing, look,
and also
his
Adrian's
swing
done
passes, his swing passes his first 3 years, garbage, abysmal. He's throwing it behind them. He's making them turn around to catch it. This year, his swing passes have been better. And guess what? They've been working. They've been going for positive yardage.
I.e. the Ramir Johnson one.
He's kept his
Saturday.
He's kept his eyes downfield when scrambling instead of just going for the run, which is what you want from your quarterback. You don't want him to just run. That's what everybody complained about, was Adrian is running too much. We're running Adrian too much. Well, he's keeping his eyes downfield. Has he missed on some throws? Yes. Has he hit some big throws? Yes.
Yeah.
You have to acknowledge that as well. You can't just come in and say, oh, well, Adrian's struggling to read a defense. Adrian's struggling to get the ball to his receivers. There's games where he's hitting his receivers. He had a better quarterback rating than Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, I saw one text earlier. I can't find it right now that said it might have gotten deleted. That said that Adrian did throw an interception on Saturday. Please, come on. It was a 4th down play. Any quarterback just needed to throw it up to the receiver.
I mean, if he ran it,
you could have complained that maybe he didn't throw it. I saw one text earlier in the week that he should have thrown a bullet pass and it would have gotten to the guy. You're drawing at straws. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, if he ran it, he wasn't getting the first down, and he's not throwing against his body across the way because that's a big no-no for quarterbacks. So he saw a receiver, and I believe he was trying to get that to Samori Toure, who was behind those two defenders. And was it Levi Falk that was there, or was it? I don't remember exactly which receiver it was, but Samori Toure was right behind him, and I think he was trying to get it to him, but the ball came out weird. It was a duck, and it got picked off. And it ended well because Nebraska, forced Oklahoma to punt it, and then they scored on that drive. So,
one last text here, and then we'll keep talking about this because you guys are still sending in the texts. I know it's hard to talk about a bad team when it's your job, but it's hard when you say they need to do this and that when they just won't. Gosh dang it! People keep texting in here.
They have never shown to be able to put together a complete game, and they
most likely won't. I don't envy you guys at all right now, but until they show us they can fix the mistakes, what is there to say? Yeah, you're absolutely right.
What is there to say? I believe that they will fix the mistakes.
It's the same thing every week, and we're going to talk about the same thing next week as well, about how Nebraska needs to establish a running game. I guarantee you on Monday morning or Monday afternoon at 2 p.m., one of the first things I'm going to say is, hopefully I'm saying Nebraska's running game, whether it was Ramir Johnson, Marquise Stepp, or Sevion Morrison, yeah, they had a good guy that they had a guy that ran the ball well. But you know what? Judging on what we've seen the last couple of weeks, it could be a completely different guy out there, and we're going to attack it the same way we do every single week, and we're going to assess it from what we hear from the coaches. And I understand that if that's not your jam, then that's fine. But that's what we have to go off of, and that's what we're going to talk about. And so that's the way I look at it.
Would you rather us just sit here and say, well, they suck, they played good, so they're going to lose against Michigan State.
Yes.
They can't run the ball. They can't protect the quarterback. The quarterback can't hit wide receivers down the field. The wide receivers can't catch. We can't get the athletes on the field. They can't catch a punt. We can't punt. We can't kick a field goal. Well, I guess they're just going to lose every single game.
I don't think that's true. Like, if we were to say that, I don't think that we'd be saying the truth, because it seems like now recently in the last couple weeks, it's not all those mistakes happening. It's against
each
Oklahoma,
game is a different mistake.
Against Oklahoma, it was special teams, offensive line, and maybe the initial missing the initial tackle, if you want to add that in there, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
The previous games,
no, we're going to add that in there.
That's fine. The previous games, it was no running game, punt return, special team. Like, yes, you have those common mistakes, those mistakes that happen each week, and yeah, they need to fix them. But everybody knows that, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about that because everybody knows that. And so that's just where I'm at. I want to get to this text. What happened involving Adrian Martinez? What happened against Illinois? Save our thoughts. Text in. Keep going. We have about 13 minutes left of the show. 402-464-5685. We'll wrap it up on a Friday. Next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The decision to replace your air conditioner will save or waste money for 15 to 20 years. Bryant offers some of the most efficient ACs available, up to 26 SEER. Schedule your free estimate at BryantLincoln.com.
Nguyen Vape is celebrating their grand opening with 20% off products all month long. They have the largest disposable vape selection in town and also carry Delta 8 and Delta 10 and various other moon rocks. If you're looking for help to relax, sleep, or ease pain, they have a variety of gummies you can choose from and Kratom that could help with pain relief, anxiety, and stress. You can't miss them right on the southwest corner of 27th and O Street. Nguyen Vape, your headquarters in Lincoln for vapes and Delta 8 or 10.
Hi, Sean Callahan here. In 2013, I first came across Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville, and I've been a customer ever since. What's kept me coming back to Koppel is the people. Oftentimes, owner Bob Koppel and his son Brandon are right there with you in the showroom, walking you through the process. There's no runaround at Koppel. It's a hardworking Nebraska company built on honest, small-town values. So make that short drive to Louisville or visit them online at koppelcars.com.
Tailgating is back, and Sartor Heyman Jewelers is offering a deal that'll really fire you up. Receive a free Traeger grill with a purchase of $2,500 or more. Take advantage of interest-free financing with no money down. Sartor Heyman has dazzling jewelry in every price range, so buy her the diamonds she's been dreaming of and get instantly rewarded with a free Traeger grill. Offer ends soon, so hurry in and get them while they're hot. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
93.7 The Ticket is hiring. We're looking for a highly confident, driven, and energetic individual to join our team as a sales executive. You can begin your exciting career in sports radio at a locally owned independent station and work closely with our crew of on-air personalities. If you enjoy meeting new people and working with them to solve their marketing needs, this could be the job for you. Head to theticketfm.com for the complete job description and instructions on how you can apply. 93.7 The Ticket and BDP Communications is an equal opportunity employer.
If you're struggling to get motivated to work out, you're not alone. And Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is here to help. Build muscle, burn fat, and lose weight with Farrell's 10-week challenge starting October 2nd. Farrell's combines kickboxing with inclusive strength training and nutrition planning to help you stay on track. Go to fxblincoln.com to sign up, and if you mention the ticket, you'll get a 50% discount. It's the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starting October 2nd with 2 locations in Lincoln.
Flying high at 2-0. And Sunday, the Broncos come home to ground the Jets. Join Dave Logan, Rick Lewis, and Susie Warchin from Empower Field at Mile High for the home opener.
He's got something there, and something needs to catch.
On the KOA Broncos Radio Network.
Century Electric is now hiring for experienced licensed electricians. This position will serve around the Lincoln area on both commercial and residential jobs. Century Electric is well established with 40 years in operation. It offers a substantial hiring bonus as well as tons of benefits. For more information or to apply, go online to centuryelectric.com and click the careers tab or call them at 402-467-5550. Come work for a great company today with Century Electric, whose commitment is always to their customers.
Now back to the happy hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. We're getting fired up on a Friday. I love it. I love it. It's good to appreciate the texts and thoughts all hour long. It's been a ton of fun. Let's wrap up a couple more things here. Oh, shout out industry, baby. I gotta
As
say
always.
that.
Always and forever.
All right. So there's 2 texts I want to get to here. That same person that said earlier about how I know it's hard to talk about a bad team when it's your job. He says, or they say, yeah, don't get me wrong. I really appreciate you guys talking football. Just tough hearing the same thing over and over. Always appreciate the positivity. It would definitely be more depressing if you just talked about what's wrong. What I will say, it's hard to say the same thing over and over. It's not fun saying the same thing over and over.
I just want this team to be better, man.
Yeah, like our jobs are a lot more fun and enjoyable when Nebraska's winning. I will say, after Illinois,
dude, that was
like there was a lot of stuff to talk about.
Dude, that was rough.
But it was a long week.
That was hard.
I will say that as well. Okay, let's get to this one that I mentioned before the break about Adrian being Jekyll and Hyde. They ask what happened against Illinois.
Are you going to go first?
Yes, because I know you have a ton of stuff here. So if you remember, or if you haven't been listening the last couple of weeks, which is totally fine, I mentioned that I went back and watched snap for snap, and I kind of broke down Adrian's performance because after Illinois and Fordham, people were criticizing Adrian quite a bit. And I wanted, and maybe I didn't know technically if it was rightfully so, when you're looking deeper past just what you see on the TV. And so I went back, watched play for play for offensive snaps for Nebraska, and I broke it down. Passes completed passes attempted 1 to 10 yards, 11 to 20 yards, and over 21 yards. Okay. Also mentioned intentional throwaways because, right, smart decisions. There was one text about him taking a sack in crucial situations. Yeah, there's been a couple of them.
That's just him. I get it. He should throw that ball away, but that's just him trying to make a play.
Yes.
He's holding on to the ball, waiting for something to show itself.
And that is frustrating. And then I also did scrambles because of pressure, because the offensive line broke down, and I actually timed it on those ones. If I saw something like that, I went back and I timed it, and it was if the pocket collapsed in less than 3.5 seconds. Okay, so take that into account. Let's run through just Illinois game. 1 of 10 yard passes. He was 8 of 11, 73%. He was hit as he let go of one in the back because remember, Brant Banks and Corcoran were kind of swapping jobs at left tackle, which is Adrian's blind side. Probably one of the more important positions on the offensive line because you're covering your quarterback's backside.
Left tackle and center, very important for a right-handed quarterback.
And so I was very tough of how I graded this as well. I want to put that out there. I was very tough. Passes 11 of 20 yards. He was 5 of 10. One of those incompletions. Pass was tipped at the line on a scramble. It was tipped at the line by the defensive lineman. One of them was a drop by Oliver Martin, which Oliver Martin had 2 hands on the ball and he dropped it. And the third was that missed touchdown to Wyatt Lever, which, yes, you can say Adrian should have put it on in a better spot, which, yes, I agree with you. But also you can say that Wyatt Lever should have come down with it, and I would agree with you there as well. Passes 21 plus yards. He was 3 of 7. However, 3 of those incompletions came in desperation time on the last drive of the game. So take that for as you want. He's either 3 for 4, 75%, or 3 of 7, 43% on those passes. He threw away the ball intentionally 3 times. He had 8 scrambles because of the pocket collapsing and him having to make a play. 8. One of those was the 75-yard touchdown run,
which was pretty good.
That was good. It was not
designed.
It was not designed.
Everybody went to the right side of the formation, and he was like, okay, I'll run this way.
Yes. So, all right, Rico, a couple minutes left. What do you have to say?
Adrian completed 50% of his passes for 232 yards and a touchdown, no interceptions. He also ran for 111 yards and a touchdown. His long was the 75. Only one receiver over 100 yards, and that was Oliver Martin, who also had the touchdown.
Yeah.
And the only difference in that game, like if you go team stat-wise, Nebraska outgained Illinois in the passing yardage and total yardage. They were behind by 7 yards in the rushing department. They had 2 more penalties. The only difference in that game is that they both had 1 turnover that they lost. The only difference in that game is Illinois took that turnover back for a touchdown, and they also had the safety on Cam Taylor-Britt's errant punt return.
Yeah, and remember that game. We can go back to that conversation that we had back after Illinois. The whole thing was Nebraska didn't stick with the running game. That was the whole week that we had the identity talk.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Remember that? That was not fun.
It was identity.
And we still could have that discussion to an extent.
So did he have the greatest game against Illinois? No, but he didn't. Like, his QBR is bad, but he didn't have a terrible game. He threw for over 200 yards and he had a touchdown with no picks. He completed 50% of his passes.
Yeah. Couple texts I want to get to right here before I close stuff out. We have a prediction. Black Shirts get a pick 6 tomorrow. Bank on it. Their QB is due for a pick.
Okay.
Oak Valley Husker. I'm excited to see more passes like the one to Omar in the end zone. That's what we've been waiting for.
Omar and Xavier Betts get more involved.
Stick around at 3 p.m. It's going to be one-on-one with DP. At 3:30, Kobe Webster of Husker men's basketball joins. At 3:45, CJ Wilcher will join DP. Make sure after Old School tonight, you stick around at 7 p.m. I will be on the call for Pius X and North Star. And we got all of our usual shows tomorrow. Stick around, folks. Exciting weekend. Nebraska wins it 28-23.
38-21. Nebraska. Adios.
Talk to your local Landmark CTS about John Deere Planter Performance